Hey guys, I would like to share a few thoughts about whether Trump is the Antichrist, whether he is planning on installing a satanic new world order with a suffocating surveillance technology that will steal all our privacy. I've been thinking a lot about it all day, and I must say that at first I was really shocked when I saw that he put this totally nefarious dude on stage to talk about how they want to tackle cancer with mRNA vaccines. My first thought was, why don't they ever talk about ending the cause of cancer by removing everything in society that causes cancer, like the harmful radiation, chemtrails, poisoning of the food, and 1,000 other things. That should be the priority, of course. Well, we have Robert F. Kennedy, who was invited to join Trump to make this happen. So that is a good thing to look forward to. But why is Trump launching Project Stargate, which is an infrastructure of AI all around America? And why is he using these wicked people for that? I don't know if I have the answer, but I want to share my thoughts with you because they give me peace, because they help me comprehend this in a more rational, logical way than anything that is based on fear and panic and outrage. You know, I'm from Europe. I'm literally a legal immigrant from Europe. Me and my family came to America in 2016. I've never been involved in politics, never in my life, because I always knew that politicians are professional criminals. They're born liars. They're pathetic cheaters. So I never got involved in politics, but when I saw Trump, when we migrated, I had to face Trump. And from the very beginning, I saw a man who was different. And I'm a Christian, so I started praying and asking God to speak to me. And I got a series of dreams that were very meaningful, very powerful, very supernatural and divine in nature. My wife and I are used to getting dreams that give answers. I've had dreams about people that were about to die. And I didn't know that, and indeed they died. I had dreams about people, I saw the intimate details of their life so that I could help those people. I got dreams that warned us about certain people and situations, and that saved our life. So we are used to receiving, so to speak, intel from heaven in our sleep. We have had this experience for decades. It has saved our marriage, it has saved our life, it has saved our ministry. It is what sent us to America. We have experienced tremendous miracles through supernatural dreams that we receive. So the dreams we got about Trump were very, very powerful, significant, meaningful. And then when I started observing him, analyzing him very critically because I didn't trust him, I couldn't help but see that he was indeed the greatest enemy of the satanic global elites. I have an education in media. I have a master's degree in that realm. And I worked with radio and television for decades. I know media, I understand media, I see how they work and how they control and manipulate population. And when I noticed that all around the world, literally in every nation, I mean, I'm from Europe, and even in Europe, all the mainstream news media were attacking Trump, slandering Trump, smearing Trump. There was a worldwide operation to incite unprecedented hatred against this man. If he was evil, this would never have happened. This is incredibly, profoundly important. And it blows me away that so many people ignore this reality, that the entire worldwide arsenal of thousands of newspapers, radio stations, television stations, news agencies, even education, science platforms, even religious institutions. They were all activated at once by the satanic elites to make sure that the whole world and all of humanity would hate, despise Trump with a vengeance. I've never seen anything like it, and this showed me, beyond a shadow of a doubt, goodness gracious, this man is dangerous for the satanic elites. And then I saw how he started destroying the news media. And I'm telling you this because this will help you understand what is going on with Operation Stargate and with what Trump is doing right now that is freaking so many people out. So please keep listening because this is going to help you a lot. What I also saw worldwide is that Satanists and witches and warlocks and people involved in dark occult magic, they all joined together. And this has never happened since the birth of this world. This has never happened before in all of human history. That the forces of darkness worldwide joined together. They organized days and even weeks to continually cast spells and curses on Trump, trying to destroy him. People, if we understand what this means, and we should know that darkness does not hate darkness, evil does not hate evil. They protect their own. They care for their own in some weird way. But like Jesus said once, the kingdom of darkness cannot be divided or it would fall to the ground. So either the realm of darkness is for Trump or they are against Trump, and they have clearly been against him from the onset. And I saw a lot more. I saw how Trump destroyed the news media. They're hypnotizing, mind controlling, brainwashing, life destroying grip on the human race. It is thanks to Trump that we now have independent media worldwide on such a grand scale. He came up with the term fake news. He single-handedly destroyed the greatest power of evil over humanity by liberating the human race from this blind obedience of the news media. He has crippled them in a fatal way. He is the one who explained to the world that the deep state is real. Listen, before Donald Trump, the deep state was considered a stupid conspiracy theory. Trump made it mainstream. He forced it mainstream, even so that now the news media have to talk about it. They have to talk about the deep state. And of course, they have to give a twist to it. But Trump has exposed to the whole world that the cabal is real, that the satanic elites are real, that the deep state is real. The very reason you even know about this is thanks to Trump. For 99% of people who are watching this. And I would say that virtually every person in the world that is now attacking and hating Trump and saying he's part of the deep state is because he is the one who told you about the deep state, for crying out loud. So we need to step back a little bit, stop panicking, and start thinking rationally. Trump has been destroying every one of their assets. He is now destroying their financial system by promoting and building a crypto financial world, which is outside of the control of the satanic elites. Their grip on the human race, listen to me, their control of your life, their power over the governments and the nations is through the banking system. Trump is now busy abolishing that. He would not do that if he was on their side. It's outrageous to think that. He is also ending taxes, federal income taxes in America, which was the #1 source of income of these satanic elites who have an agenda for world domination. It is unbelievable what he's doing. He truly has a heart to liberate the people. In no way has he shown any characteristic of a wicked tyrant. On the contrary, he gave up a comfortable life to face so many attacks. And I can keep going. I can go on and on and on. He removes America from the Paris Climate Accord so that this whole climate change hoax falls to the ground. He removes America from the World Health Organization so their next pandemic will fail utterly. They will no longer be able to impose world tyranny under the guise of a next pandemic. Everything he's been doing, and this is only a small list, there's much, 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 much more. There's a reason why the elites have been trying to destroy him. So what is going on with this technology stuff, with this AI? Well, these are my thoughts, and I hope they will help you. The scriptures say that at some point in the history of mankind, the wealth of the wicked will be transferred into the hands of the righteous. That Hebrew word of wealth does not just mean money, it means methods, solutions, techniques. Wealth is much more than money. So what are we seeing right now? Trump is restoring free speech in America. How is he doing that? Facebook was established by DARPA, an extremely dark and nefarious agency of the US military, which was used by the satanic elites. They designed Facebook to control the lives of people. It was first called LifeLog. It was meant to control every aspect of human existence. Facebook has been used to awaken the world more than anything else. They wanted to use it to submit humanity to suffocating tyranny, and it has been used the exact opposite. Now Trump had a conversation with Mark Zuckerberg, and after that conversation, Mark Zuckerberg comes out and says, censorship no more. We will no longer censor posts. We will no longer cancel accounts, except when they do explicit illegal stuff. People are now again able to spread truth on Facebook. Trump is taking that which is in the hands of the wicked, and he's turning it around for good. He did the same with Twitter. People say Elon Musk has bought Twitter. I don't think so. I believe Elon Musk has joined the side of the light, even though he has some very dark things still in his life and his mind, because he came out of that. He needs a lot of cleaning up, so to speak. And I encourage everyone to really make it a priority to pray for Elon Musk, because I believe that he has chosen the side of good, but that he still has a lot of baggage from the dark in his backpack. That's what I truly believe. And he needs help. And I believe Trump has embraced him as his son, to help him choose for what is good. That's my personal impression. I may be wrong, and time will tell. But that's my personal impression. So Trump, I believe, is behind the shift from Twitter to X, where it suddenly became the most powerful platform for the dissipation of truth worldwide. I mean, the whole European Union wants to ban X. They would never do that if Elon Musk was on their side. I mean, the European Union is at the very heart of the satanic worldwide elites. The European Union was the very first big powerhouse created for world domination. So people, we have to think logically, rationally, look at a distance, oversee the whole picture. Not just stare ourselves blind at one detail so we forget the bigger picture. We need to stand back and look calmly at everything. X has been used to wake up hundreds of millions of people, potentially billions. I talk to people all around in cities, in stores, in car shops, and they all say, yeah, all of a sudden I see these posts on X and wow, that's interesting. Whoa. I mean, X is being used to wake up the human race more than anything and ever before. They would never do that if they were on the side of evil. Brazil has been seized by the satanic elites. They banned X. Come on, guys. The kingdom of darkness is not divided because it would fall to the ground immediately. Elon and Trump are on the good side. Are they perfect? No, in no way. That's why we need to try to understand, have grace, have patience, and pray for them. So about this artificial intelligence infrastructure. If we look at a surgical knife, I don't have one in my hand, but I ask you to imagine it. If you look at a surgical knife, it can be used to kill somebody. It can be used to cut your eye out. It can be used to slice somebody's throat. It can be used to mutilate people. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But it can also be used to cut away cancer. It can be used to heal somebody, to save somebody's life. AI is but a tool. It can be used for good or for evil. Our youngest son was just a couple of days ago, he nearly escaped a child trafficking ring that tried to kidnap him. God protected us and it got exposed right on time. We were there when he had an appointment with a lady that was about to kidnap him. They had been working on his emotions through an online game and a chat group where he thought he was helping peers, his friends online, and one of his friends was an imposter. And they worked on his emotions so he would feel sorry for this girl who wanted to commit suicide. And then he offered help, and they made an appointment with the aunt, supposedly, of that girl, because the girl was in the hospital. And my youngest son, he was supposed to go there so he could meet with that girl, and he wanted to encourage her and pray for her. Well, of course, as parents, we came along and we met that person, and she fled from us as fast as she could, and we talked afterwards with the sheriff and the police, and it's very clear that this was an attempt to kidnap my son. This is very real. Thousands of children are being kidnapped every year in America alone. Millions worldwide, actually hundreds of thousands, disappear in America. There is a place for some healthy surveillance to save people's life, to protect. But it may not infringe on privacy. It can be used for evil. It can be used to remove your freedom. But it can also be used to protect you, to catch the criminals, to take out evil in society. And I'm not a fan of this concept because my dream for the future is that humanity will turn back to our Creator. And our societies will become so full of goodness and love and justice that evil will no longer have a place, that we won't need surveillance technologies. But I also understand that there is a road towards that. These kinds of fundamental mega transformations don't occur overnight. So I can understand that, yes, it can be good to have a certain type of surveillance in society to protect and help. Until society is mature enough, until people en masse have chosen to turn their back to evil and societies have become so healthy and so safe again that we no longer need that. It's like you have this band-aid that you put on a wound. You need it to get it healed, but once it's healthy, you remove the band-aid and you don't need it anymore. So for a season, I believe that there can be a place for a certain level of observation to keep the people safe. I believe that the intentions of Donald Trump are good. I don't know if I agree with everything he wants to do, but I also know that what I'm seeing in the future is such a beautiful world. It's such a wonderful human society that we can't even imagine it. I've had dreams about the future that are so fantastic. I saw cities that were so full of green. They were full of fruit trees and berry bushes and full of life. the city I was in did not have this oppressive atmosphere that most cities have. And I was riding my bicycle throughout that city, and I was amazed at how much happiness and life there was. Because there were not just some trees and shrubs here and there. Every bush and every shrub was fruit bearing. And what this did is it attracted millions of birds and squirrels, and it made the city vibrant with life. And the people in the cities were tending to everything. The entire city was feeding the people. It was creating joy. It gave the people such happiness, because the whole city was like one huge, fantastic, beautiful park. And the architecture of the buildings were phenomenal. It was so creative, so beautiful, so fantastic. And I saw that people in neighborhoods were outside and engaging with one another, and the children were playing outside, because everyone was tending to all the green that was growing in the neighborhoods and the cities. And it was, it was like this beautiful project of the people themselves, not from the government. It was the people who were involved. And I saw that school was more outside, and the grandparents and the parents were present, and they enjoyed, and the kids learned while they were playing. I saw, like a small lake in the city, in a park, and the kids were swimming in that lake with their teacher, and the teacher was teaching them the alphabet while they were playing. And the teacher was shouting, "A for apple," and the kids answered, "A for apple," while they were swimming and playing and having fun. "B for bear," and the kids answered, "B for bear." And I saw that school was no longer being locked up inside a concrete prison, but the children were playing outside. They were learning in such a way that it gave them joy. And the parents and grandparents who wanted, they were present. They sat on a terrace, they were having a drink, they were enjoying it. It was a community event. School was a community happening. I saw these dreams about the future. I believe they will happen. I believe we have an incredibly magnificent future, and Trump is being used as this wrecking ball to crush this satanic wall of oppression and darkness and evil that has been holding back everything good in our society, because it's organized and structured strategically to do just that. But he is the first one. How many more will we need after Trump to get where we need to get? How much more will humanity need to wake up and mature and turn back to the Creator? How much more will we have to turn back in our inner self and say, "Oh my God, I am the demon in this house. I have to change." And stop pointing at everybody else. Humanity as a whole has a long way to go before we have a beautiful, fantastic paradise on this earth, which I know with every vessel of my being will happen, and we will move towards that. Robert F. Kennedy coming on board, and Joel Salatin, who is the hero of organic farming, of permaculture. He's been asked to become an advisor to the USDA to restore organic natural farming in America. This is so huge. We are at the beginning stages of a massive transformation. But it takes time. It will take years and decades to get there. People after Trump will have to continue. We'll have to keep speaking out. We'll have to keep praying. Humanity needs to rise up and say, we have had enough with this evil. Now we're going to choose for good, all of us. So that we no longer need a president. So that we no longer need armies. So that we no longer need boundaries. Because the people of every nation will love one another. There will no longer be these criminal rulers over the nations who lie and cause wars and suffocate everyone. Because humanity will have become so divine in nature, so powerful, because they have this living relationship with the Creator of all life. Not a religion, but the reality of being plugged in to what empowers you. And then the governments will just fall away, because the people will be so mature, so spiritual in line, and so caring about one another. There will not be place for evil. It will be impossible. But that takes time, people. And I believe honestly that we are now at the verge of this epic transformation, that we are moving out of darkness into light. But it's a battle. Trump cannot, listen, this is another train of thought. Trump cannot and may not stay behind with America in the development of AI. He wants to be the best. He wants to excel with technology. He wants to excel in every way. And that's why I quoted the scriptures from Isaiah that say, the wealth of the wicked will be given to the righteous. Well, what is Trump doing? He's taking the wealth of knowledge, the wealth of expertise, the wealth of technology from the hands of the wicked, and he says, now we're going to use that for good, and you're going to serve me. That's what I believe he's doing. But it all starts with, do we understand who Trump really is? If we still suspect him to be evil, then we will interpret everything he does through the lens of that. But if we have a solid, profound understanding in our spirit, Trump has been attacked by evil in every way. I mean, he constantly expresses his faith in Jesus Christ everywhere he goes. Before the inauguration, there was a phenomenal worship meeting in Mar-a-Lago where hundreds of people were worshiping Jesus Christ. Trump has never said, I am God or I am the Messiah. He constantly says, we need God. We need Jesus Christ. So he is no Antichrist in any way. But we are afraid because we have been abused so much that we have forgotten how to trust, and I understand that. I have the same problem. We need to learn to trust, and I tell you, my trust is not in Trump. My trust is in the Almighty, who has a plan of healing and restoration for humanity. The awakening is not for no reason. The fact that hundreds of millions of people worldwide have opened their eyes after COVID is not a coincidence. There is a powerful move happening in our world where humanity is beginning to wake up, is starting to open its eyes, and this will continue and increase tremendously. And will Trump make mistakes? Well, I pray he won't, because he has, goodness gracious, he has a tremendous responsibility. The whole system is as insane as can be, that one man can determine the fate of 300 million people. Goodness gracious, dude. What kind of madness is that? But it is a system that we still have, and humanity needs to wake up to such a degree that this system will become obsolete, and leaders will have no more power because the people stand in their own power. Do you understand what I say? But right now, we still need a president. Right now, America still needs a man who will turn the tide. And that's what I think, that's what I believe, that Trump is good. And he's being used for the first steps towards a better world. But he has to work with what is present now. He has to work with the people who are available. He has to do with what he has. He can't just wave a magic wand and everything is paradise. So he has to work with these people that are evil. And now they have to serve him. The wealth of the wicked is being transferred to the righteous. The knowledge, their systems, their technologies are being used now for good. And is it scary? Of course it's scary, because I don't trust these demons at all. But what I do, and I want to encourage you to do the same, is I pray my heart out. I mean, I lock myself up in a dark room so I'm not distracted by anything, and I pray. I pray, God Almighty. I pray for judgment over evil. I pray for destruction of the works and the plans of the wicked. I pray for exposure of all darkness. I pray for empowerment of the good ones. I pray for wisdom for President Trump. And I pray for a fire that will purify him, that he will become more and more pure and pure and pure. Because we all have darkness inside of us that can be used by the forces of evil. So I pray for him that God saves him from his own darkness and that the will of the Almighty happens in this world. Healing, deliverance, transformation, justice, truth, freedom, safety, abundance for all. This world was created to be a paradise for every living creature that is born in it. We have so much wealth in this world, so many riches. I mean, every town, every village can feed itself by just having some community gardens. We don't need these corporations who feed us poison and toxins and cancer and diabetes. We don't need Walmart and Safeway and Kroger and all these diabolical superstores that pervert everything and feed you trash that sends you straight to your grave. Every village and town and city has everything they need to feed everyone with the healthiest, purest, organic, living, undefiled riches that grow from the ground, that heal our diseases because they're so potent with nutrients that they just are like superfood that supercharges us. Instead of bogging us down with all the toxins we eat and we get tired, we eat, we get more tired. If you eat living food, you become energized. And it can be done just like that. But the people need to wake up. The people have to start building their community gardens, and it has to grow. We need to step away from the system of evil and return to what is good in a very practical, simple way. I mean, we are friends with some Amish people. They have never been to the hospital. They don't need to because they know how to treat themselves in a very natural way. My goodness, what has humanity lost? But we will return to that. I believe so. But there's a way towards that. So people, I want to encourage you. I don't like this idea of surveillance. But I do understand that it can be necessary for a period. And in a certain degree. And I personally believe that AI will restore, reawaken the divine nature of humanity. People are now intimidated. Oh, AI, it's better at everything. No, it's not better than everything. AI will never be better than you because it has no soul. It has no direct connection with the creator of all the butterflies and the lions and the eagles and the flowers and the grass and the mountains and everything that is alive. AI is dead. It has nothing. It's just code. And people freak out. AI! Oh my God. I think that people are going to wake up to AI can't beat me. Because I'm a divine being. I'm created by the Most High God to be His child, to be His reflection, His expression. I will never be able to make music like Mozart and Beethoven and Bach did. I will never be able to create paintings that move us to tears. We will always see the fakery in it. I will never be able to create poems that just touches and leave us in such contemplation because it touches the deepest realms of our being. AI can only imitate. It cannot create, it can imitate. It takes and it restructures. I believe that humanity has a great future. And sometimes we need something very bad to wake us up to who we truly are. So guys, these are just a few thoughts. I hope that it helps you. My main thought is that I believe Trump is using things that can be used for evil, but he wants to use them for good. That's what I think. That he wants to take the power of the wicked and use it for good. That he wants to not be behind on the world scene, but he wants to be the best. How can you make sure that AI does not become the demon that it could potentially become? By becoming the leader of AI, so you can determine the direction it goes. You cannot make something good by stepping away from it, by leaving it untouched. You have to get involved. You have to master it. You have to become the best at it. And then you can lead the way. I believe that that is the heart of Trump, that he wants to lead the way, but in a good direction. Not like the World Economic Forum, not like Bill Gates. He might even use Bill Gates and say, now you're going to serve me, you shithead. I'm not going to kill you, I'm going to use you. Your knowledge, your wealth will now be used for the betterment of humanity. That's what I think. And I hope that the future will not prove me wrong. But I pray with everything in me that the powerful armies of heaven will come and destroy these demons on earth that have wicked agendas to inflict terror on the human race. I pray that there will come such a judgment of the eternal Almighty One on all on earth who serve darkness, so they will be removed from the face of the earth, and the people will breathe again. The people will come alive again, because the oppression has been lifted, because the dark cloud has been blown away by the winds of change. And I believe that that is where we are. So thank you for listening. I hope that you are willing to share this, because I really hope that this will help a lot of people. It is way too long, it's 38 minutes, but I hope that you will share this. And if you want to know more about the beautiful future, then follow me here on X. Or if you see this on Facebook, follow me on Facebook. If you see it on Rumble, follow me on Rumble. If you see it on the website, sign up for the emails. I believe that we have a future that is too beautiful for our minds to comprehend. For many years, I was raised in the church with a very dark outlook. Oh, the Antichrist is going to rule the world. Oh, Satan is going to be the boss. Oh, this and that. And over the years, I have gone through a process of transformation where the Spirit of God started speaking to me. And he said, David, I'm going to remove your doom and gloom mentality. I'm going to give you hope for the future, because I am restoring my creation. And I want to use you for that as well. And I'm going to give you a message of hope for my people. And that is what has been burned deep inside of me the past 20 years. Give hope to the people, because the future is beautiful. But we have to detox ourselves. We have to detox our mind from all the dark thinking and look with clear eyes. And one last thing. I'm writing a book right now about the end of the world and the topics like, the Antichrist and the mark of the beast and all that stuff and the return of Christ. Why is that necessary? Because I see that 2 billion Christians in this world, that is 1/4 of all of humanity, 1/4 of the human race, has been mind controlled to believe that the future is dark and demonic and Satan is going to rule us all. And that is a lie. That is the exact opposite of the true message of the scriptures. And in this book, I'm going to wake people up and tell them, you guys are not born to be losers and slaves. You've been born to be a hero who slays dragons, who sets the captives free, who brings about tremendous transformation in this world. So I hope that this helps you. Thank you for listening.